Hello and welcome to Monday, post-Super Bowl Monday. Glad to have you here, everybody. I'm Jenny Anchondo along with Ron Corning. And Ron and I were talking last week about this. I was so shocked by this social media post made by Russell Brand. It was about a woman who we have had on this show a couple of times.
Yeah, Jennifer Hargrave, who was talking about a subject that she's talked about here on this show, and that is the rise in the number of divorces that have happened during the pandemic. So she did a segment with another television station. Somehow Russell Brand saw it and began going after her about it. We're going to play that. Then we're going to bring Jennifer in to talk about her reaction to it. I'm sure she was caught by surprise as well. Take a look.
Really stuck.
She's beaming her way through. She loves it. Look at her face in this still. I'm not criticising this person. She's a human being. I love her and all of that. But my God, is she enjoying these divorces? People can't stand it. I got 6 times as much money in my house.
And having to face the reality that the marriage isn't working.
Right, calm down. It is basically a sad thing. I mean, of course, if you're in a relationship that you shouldn't be in, if you're harmed, if you're not safe, you should get out of that relationship. No one's doubting that. But don't grin from ear to ear at the prospect of people that once declared that they loved one another having to carve up all their goods and possessions and the other myriad complex problems that come from it.
The shutdown has changed our routine.
Well, so we had to bring in Jennifer Hargrave from Hargrave Family Law. Oh my gosh, what was your reaction, first of all, when you found out that he had seen one of your interviews and then took the time to make this whole video?
It was really funny. So it was a friend of mine had alerted me to it, through Facebook. I was like, oh my gosh. I immediately sent it to my 20-year-old son, who said, "This is epic, Mom." And so he then broadcasted that to all of his friends. So I thought that was really kind of funny.
Jennifer, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I mean, you're everywhere with this, thanks to Russell Brand.
Well, listen, I mean, first of all, Russell did a really good job of making me look like I'm happy about divorce. So I am never happy that people get divorced. Divorce is a really serious decision that people have to make. And, it's a weighty decision, and oftentimes it's filled with grief and very sad. But I am happy to have the opportunity to talk about the fact that divorce can be done in a way that doesn't have to be destructive. So, yeah, so long as we're having this conversation about how you can go about getting a divorce, I think that's a good thing.
Well, and it's interesting because I was thinking back on when we spoke to you, and when you introduce somebody, naturally they smile, unless you're talking, I mean, you know what I mean? That's just sort of, especially because we are virtual, so it's like, hi. And so I can see how that was captured in an inopportune moment when speaking about something that is your profession and that by all accounts you are passionate about helping people navigate. So it seems to me that maybe that's where the smile was coming from, or that's where the sort of good-natured attitude of the interview was coming from.
She's a good-natured person.
Yeah, but what do you say to people who say, Jennifer's out there celebrating and making money off of people's heartache?
Yeah, I understand the spin, and I totally get that, and that is one way to see it. But I know internally that that's not true, so it doesn't really matter to me. I know that I am happy to be talking. I'm thrilled to be a guest, and I can't really curb my enthusiasm, so to speak. So hey, this is who I am. I'm happy to be here.
Well, and I know when we had a conversation about this, you seemed like, and I've heard this from others who've worked with you, that you're really intent on making sure that couples separate in a way that is not as hurtful as it could be, or more amicable than most other attorneys might handle it. So people who know you and know that about you know there's no elation in you seeing people break up. I also wondered if this wasn't, not to psychoanalyze Russell Brand, I also wondered if this wasn't as much about him as it was about you, because as we show Katy Perry there, I think he had a not so nice divorce where some things might have been carved up, correct?
That's exactly right. I get people have their own story that they're telling all the time. And so I know I don't know the details of his divorce except what we all read in the tabloids, and it didn't look like a very amicable divorce, and so it was something really difficult for him to deal with. So, you know, he's still got unresolved feelings about that. That's
He's
okay,
mad
Russell.
he didn't call you. He's
I
just
was
mad he
just
didn't
going
call
to say
you.
that, Ron. He should have called Hargrave Family Law if he wanted to have an amicable divorce. What is the key to somebody having an amicable divorce? I have to say, I don't know of a lot of instances of it happening.
Yeah, unfortunately, we see a lot of that in my practice, and I'm really proud of the work we do. And really, it comes from our clients. You know, they set the intention that I don't want this divorce to destroy my children. I don't want it to destroy our family. You know, I love this person at one time, and, you know, things have fallen apart, but there's still good parts of our relationship, and I want to honor that. And so when people that come in with that intention, you know, we love to help make that happen. And, you know, we can't always. The truth is, if somebody wants to have a fight in a divorce, they're going to have a fight. But I just want to point out, why fight? It really, at the end of the day, it isn't necessary. And, you know, there's so much fear going into it, and the process itself will sort of exploit that fear. So I just want people to know they have options.
Well, I think the fact that you took what Russell Brand did with such great humor, you didn't take it personally, you're talking to us about it, speaks to who you are and your disposition as a person and how you approach some of these cases. And to quote your son, I mean, it was epic.
It was epic. And call her, Russell. Russell Brand,
Call Jennifer.
If you need Hargrave family, any sort of family law help, call Jennifer or call us, and we'll connect you to Jennifer's people. It will be a whole thing. I can't wait, actually.
Exactly.
Thanks,
Thank
Jennifer.
you all.
Have a beautiful day. Great to chat with you.
Good to chat with you, too. Thank you.
Yeah, I have to say she took it, I mean, she took it in good humor. And Russell Brand's a comedian by nature. So, but of all the people and all the places, I mean, you know, these segments about divorce during the pandemic has been done all over the country. Somehow he saw her video and that's what he did with it.
My mom just texted me and said, I remember her and I remember her smiling.
She's
talking about the topic. It's her profession, and she's being interviewed. So,
she smiled as she talked about Russell Brand, clapping back.
She sure did.
Just smiled.